Okay, so moving on to the second question then. Again, breaking down the question, it's looking for one thing and one thing only. So which one of the following is an example of gamesmanship? So you've got three keywords of gamesmanship. You've got sportsmanship and you've got deviance. So they're the three key words. If you were to rank them, gamesmanship is probably in your middle, sportsmanship is your top, and deviance is your bottom. Sportsmanship is when you play within the rules. Gamesmanship is you play within the rules, but you tend to bend them, not break them, however, and deviance is when you tend to break the rules. So what you need to do when you go through this question is make sure you're processing each of the key areas. Again, you can identify them with numbers, or you can just put a simple cross. So which one we're looking for gamesmanship? So shaking hands at the end of the match is a nice thing to do, generally called a good sport, so we're going to put number 1 next to that one, sportsmanship. Taking performance-enhancing drugs to win a 100-metre race is against the rules, so we're going to go on this one, unfortunately, with deviance. Claiming a catch in cricket when you know the ball has hit the ground first. Now, you don't decide whether that's a catch or not, that's up to the umpires. However, pretending that it was or wasn't, that's going to come back to you're not breaking the rules, but you're bending them somewhat. So we're going to have to put number 2 there. Accepting the referee's decision without arguing is clearly a nice thing to do. In fact, more footballers should do it. And it's generally, again, seen as a good sport, so that's number 1. So again, we go back to the question. We're looking for gamesmanship, which we've identified as a number 2. There's only one answer that for us that sticks out, and that's C. So we put a cross in the box there. Again, what we've also got is some examples that, again, we could use later on if a question comes up with examples, sportsmanship, gamesmanship, or deviance, which actually it does. Going on to C, identifying the type of guidance from the description. So again, we know there are key types of guidance. Again, it's told us the answer to the types of guidance that there are. Again, helpful for a later question. The use of demonstration to help guide the performer to reproduce a movement. Now, the key bit here is reproduce. Okay, so when somebody does a demonstration for you, you will generally watch that demonstration. So with that information, we know clearly there's only one option here. So when we look at watching, we're looking at visual. Now, verbally, it doesn't give us any specific information, whether that person just talked us through it. Mechanically, it doesn't physically say how we were helped through it, or manually, it doesn't say how we were physically assisted with something. It says reproduce a movement. So clearly, we've looked at that movement. So visual is the only answer on this one here. Which one of the following affects optimum weight? Now, this is a key topic area that I think not a lot of people have revised very well. There's clear things that affect optimum weight, and the only one on this list that affects optimum weight is bone structure. Okay, so optimum weight is the best type of weight for you to be for your sport at that given time, for your height and for your age. So it makes you effective at your sport, and then you obviously get some people who are quite tall, which is helpful for certain sports like rowing and basketball. And the bone structure is the kind of the key one on that one. To do with fitness, how fit you are or how unfit you are will help you become an optimum weight. Again, the race, not massively going to affect your optimum weight. And age, with age, people tend to put more weight on, but again, it doesn't affect your optimum weight, not like your bone structure does, because you can clearly only be a certain weight for the bone structure that you have. Moving on to the next question then. So a graph question, which was disappointing across both papers. Although these two questions most people got right. So using the data in figure 1, which club receives the highest match day income? Again, so you've got 3 bits of information. Some people cleverly kind of coded it actually on, so they wrote next to, for example, Real Madrid, this was commercial, and they wrote it on all of them so they could just see clearly things sticking out to them rather than focusing on colours. The answer for this one, which club receives the highest match day income, was clearly Manchester United, because you've got match day and match day, and this was the highest income that was recorded. So Manchester United was, again, the only option on this one. But again, just putting little bits of information on the paper helps you break down that question. Moving on to using the figure 1 to see which one has the lowest income from media. Again, you need to look at the code for media. We need to look at which ones are the lowest across, and what sticks out for us is Bayern Munich on this question here. Again, just by clearly labelling which section is which for each club, makes sure that the answer sticks out to you. Again, you can go through a process of elimination, so you could rank them if you like. So this is in 4th position, this one's in 2nd position, this one's in 3rd position, this one's in 2nd position, and this one's in 1st position in terms of money that they've made. And that's the multiple choices done.